Actually, I don't think we're even gonna do an intro. I've got an idea where I'm just gonna take clips of me talking about like the plans of next episode from the previous episode and just put like an echo filter over it. I
thought you were gonna use like the transition from Arthur, like.
So I want to introduce the first run of what I am going to call the Oopies. Yeah, you expect like a crazy award show.
I have no idea how I'm going to pick my favorite midget porno, but I mean...
So stay tuned for our end of the year show, the last show of 2025. Will be coming out on New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah, now that is for sure what I'm going to do.
Okay. And now you can include this part at the beginning of the podcast after the transition.
All right. Well, here we are. Here we are again, everybody.
Back again, and about time too.
Yeah, about time. So regarding the elephant in the room,
unrealistic elephant in the room.
I completely forgot that was the name of the show. By the way, welcome to the Unrealistic Elephant Podcast. So I promised you guys a lot of things, and we have none of them, because I think I underestimated how much work it would be to actually put effort into this podcast during the busiest time of the year that I could possibly think of. It never occurred to me that maybe I could get overwhelmed or so. This is basically, we don't have a movie to review this time since my hubris. So we're gonna go over basically a year in review, everything we've gone over. I think it would be great to go over, all the movies we've watched this year. Mm-hmm. I think it would be great to go over all of the episodes we've done, and all like other things too. We play games, we watch TV shows, we experience all sorts of things. So I just want to go over everything, because while we have similar tastes in media, we don't really watch the same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of tend to agree on things, but I mean, just what we laser focus on is a little bit different.
Yeah, if you look at my Letterboxd versus Ian's Letterboxd, it's insane.
My Letterboxd right now has been me watching a bunch of the old cartoons from the 30s and stuff.
Yeah, it's every time I check, it's wonder what Ian's watched, and it's just
Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. Oh, okay, he's still watching Donald Duck.
Honestly, I've been watching them while I go on the treadmill. That's kind of my way to exercise. I'll just I'll put on a Fleischer cartoon or a Disney cartoon and just watch them for 6 minutes while I'm on the treadmill.
That's
and
smart.
Get on to the other parts of my exercise. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. And It was sort of a crazy year for a lot of these movies. It's hard to really narrow it down to what was the best movie I saw this year, but I'm sure we will get to that.
I do have some stuff written down for that. But I don't know which order we're going in. By the way, we smoked weed before this just because we don't have anything planned, and then if the episode sucks, we can just blame it on the fact that we were high.
Yep, there we go. So I blame anyone but myself.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we go into big media and things like that, let's start with games then, because you played a lot of. I don't know what you've been playing this year. Guess the most of the time we've been hanging out, you've been playing Yakuza. That's the most. The thing you played most of the year.
I finished Yakuza. I started that. It wasn't actually right when I got my Switch, because I went to the Walmart here and they didn't have it, and then I had to go.
They never have anything.
Yeah, I went to the GameStop out in Charlottetown, and then they were I don't think they had it right away either, and then they got it a week later.
It's everyone just forgets about us. I wanted to pick up Kirby Air Riders, and it took 3 weeks for them to get a single copy in to the Walmart. And it's what the hell? This is a major franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I've played a little bit of Kirby Air Riders, about 10 hours actually. So I'd say more than I've done more than dip my toes into it, but I still haven't gotten hard into it. So
right.
Yeah, I still need to do that. Right now I'm playing Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes.
I'm in the end game.
Oh, you are.
I've finished the main story, but I got the DLC, so there's Emerald Rush and like.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
so how is that? I've never gotten the DLC.
It's kind of fun. Is Emerald Rush just not part of the game unless you get the DLC?
Yeah, no, it.
Okay.
I played through the whole game. I think the day I beat Bonanza, they announced that DLC. I was like, well, fuck. Now I have to. But it's a little too pricey for me. I'm waiting for a price drop or some sort of sale.
Yeah, that's fair. I got Bonanza a little bit later because I was already into Yakuza.
Yeah,
and then I was like, I still got it before I played it, and now I'm playing through that. And now I got Kirby's Air Riders to go back to after I finished that. I got Yuka Replay.
Oh yeah,
they released the digital version in November, and then they released the physical version right before Christmas. So
oh my god,
yeah. But I was wanted the physical version, but I still haven't picked up Metroid Prime 4. I know that Resident Evil 9's coming out like next month, so there's still just a bunch of stuff on Switch too that I want to get around to.
Yeah. I've been playing a little bit of Prime 4. I got it for Christmas, so it's been really fun.
I heard mixed things.
Yeah, no, and I definitely get it. The main thing is the story and the characters, which is so weird because Metroid Prime really isn't known for that. Like, the main bad guy in this game, I had to go look up who he was because I forgot about him entirely for Metroid Prime 3, because mostly these games are just like exploration and they're very moody and atmospheric.
Yeah.
But they really went into like fleshing out characters. Like, every location you go to has like an NPC that you talk with the whole time, and
that's concerning because it makes it sound like Metroid Other M.
Yeah, no, it's not nearly as bad as that. Although I will say, I'll die on this hill, I liked Metroid Other M. I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, well,
the writing wasn't very good, but
gameplay wise I thought it was fine. But yeah, the writing wasn't very good, which would be, not that big of a deal if it wasn't for the frequency of the cutscenes, which was a lot. So.
Oh, it was so many, yeah. Yeah, no, this still feels very much like Metroid Prime. But yeah, it's sort of at odds with itself because it's very much it's really atmospheric. The music's incredible. The gameplay is refined. But like, again, every you'll get like a fire chip. Yeah. And it's like, you can get a fire beam now. And then it's like, go drive your motorcycle like 20 minutes to get back to the starting area and go talk to stupid ass fucking Marvel dialogue like NPC who is just gonna be like, it's gonna get real nerdy in here. And then he like touches a keyboard. He's like, you got the fire shot now. And it's like, could I not have just gotten the fire shot? Like, or the ice beam. Like, what are we talking about here? But other than that, it's really good.
Okay.
But yeah, like again, if you can get past that, it's still quite good. Like, it's still Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they do remaster HD versions of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 before that happened, but didn't happen.
It seems so strange because like, it's not even like Metroid Prime 4 has its own story. It's like bouncing right off of like the stuff in Prime 3 with Silux, and like I
haven't played Prime 3 since the Wii, so I don't even remember.
The last time I talked about Prime 3 was probably when like I was still actively playing my Wii in like high school. But it's good. Definitely try it out. But if you might want to put the dialogue on mute or something because these people are fucking annoying.
That's kind of like what you told me about Mario Wonder with the flowers. Where you're just like, Nathan told me in Mario Wonder, like, because I kept saying that these flowers are really annoying, what they were saying. It's just like, well, switch it to German and it'll be funnier. And he was right. Just put the audio track on German for the flowers. It makes it way better.
It does, because now they're like just yelling at you in German because all of the lines sound so much angrier in that language.
Yeah, but I still have the text box for English, so it's not like I missed anything. But.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh my god. So this is the only... this is the last thing I'm going to say about Metroid Prime 4. And I know that I've said almost entirely bad things about it, but again, I really do enjoy it. It's just that I have real problems with like certain parts of it, this like mechanic guy that you are friends with, like he's like, okay, go and explore and find where you're supposed to go. And it's like, cool. It sort of sets you loose. You're in this desert. You got the motorcycle that you get, and it lets you. There's like combat in there, and then you can go wherever you want. It doesn't really point you in a direction until like 20 minutes down the line, where he'll call you and then be like, sounds like you're lost. Have you tried going here? And I'm like, what the fuck? I was having fun. I didn't know where I was supposed to be going. That's why it was good. There was no waypoint. And then, like, he said that, and then I opened my map, and it put a waypoint marker on the fire area, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude!
That's one thing I like about Bonanza, is that you can get markers for the bananas, but only when you want to get them from the shop.
Exactly. And that's a great segue, because I would love to talk DK Bonanza. Yeah. I know you mentioned it before, but that is probably the best first-party Nintendo game that came out this year. Like, and it's not even close for me.
Yeah, I would say so too. Did anything come out on the Switch 1 at the beginning of the year that I don't remember?
Like, a lot of stuff is sort of like half and half, but not a whole lot for actual first-party Nintendo games.
Okay, yeah. Because I played Mario Kart World, which I do like. I understand the criticisms with it. But at the same time, I'm also glad that not every Mario Kart game is the same. Like that they
exactly.
Just trying to make it the next Mario Kart 8, that they tried to do something different with it. And I also like DK's redesign in that. And that I think that I found out that Donkey Kong Bonanza was happening later. That's when they released it. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense that they redesigned it, because there's the new Donkey Kong game coming out. And I would say if I were to pick Game of the Year, and I haven't really played a whole lot this year, I tend to, and this is going to be a common trend for like everything that we talk about, I tend to kind of go more retro. I mean, I watch a lot of TV shows. I don't watch a lot of TV shows from this year. Same with games. I play a lot of games. I don't play a lot of games from this year.
When we get into like TV shows and stuff, it's again all gonna be shows that came out maybe like 10 years ago at the very earliest.
Well, actually, this year I did watch quite a few seasons of TV, which I'll get into. But
okay, cool.
With Donkey Kong Bonanza, it probably is my game of the year. If you were to count Yakuza 0 Director's Cut as a game that came out this year, then maybe. But at the same time, I hear that there's some things in Director's Cut that some people didn't like very much.
Oh, really?
Like, for example, I just heard, like, with the Mahjong game, I don't know how to play Mahjong, and apparently there was an older version of Yakuza 0 where they had instructions, like, on the pieces of what to do, and they took that out for this newer version. So
the director said, fuck you, I cut that.
Yeah, so, like, it seemed like they were, like, taking out, like, quality of life things that they added in previous Yakuza games.
That's so ass backwards.
But at the same time, I still like that game was fucking amazing. Like, it was so well written. Like, I loved the gameplay. I loved all the different aspects of it. I didn't 101% complete it or anything that. But I mean, I did a lot of the side stories and stuff, and I really enjoyed myself.
Well, I know it's like telling you to jump into another like ocean of shit, but Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2 just like dropped on Switch 2 just recently.
Yeah. And
those games are fucking really good follow-ups. Basically, they're just remakes of the first two games, because the first two games sort of have a different style to them. That doesn't mesh really well with the modern Yakuza style. Kiwami and Kiwami 2 really hooked me. I got every other Yakuza game after I played both of those games.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm still working through them, like, whenever I think to play it. But again, these games, one of these games is just like, you just get sunk. It's like quicksand.
Yeah.
You just there's no bottom to it. Which can be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely recommend you check out Kiwami. I think they're on sale right now, if you want to look it up, but yeah, I think it's on the eShop.
Are they digital only?
Yeah, it's on the. Yeah, you're a physical games guy.
Yeah, I tend to if I can. That's why I waited for the ukulele release, which actually came with inserts like stickers and stuff. I was happy about
really?
that.
So have you played Ukulele yet?
No, I haven't. I've never even played the original Ukulele.
I haven't either.
the reason I didn't is because I had a Wii U, and then it was coming out on Wii U, but then they canceled it last minute when they made it like multi-platform, and the Switch was coming out. So I was just like, "Fuck you!" And then I heard the game wasn't that good anyway, so I was like, "All right, well, I guess I dodged a bullet."
I guess so. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I obviously Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie are two of my favorite games, so I kind of feel I should go play them, and I really want to, honestly, even if they're not that good. But we'll see. I did play a little bit of the sequel, like the Overhead one, the Impossible Lair.
Yes,
yeah, that one was really good. So
really,
from what I played of it, I didn't finish it, but
it was sort of like just like an appetizer for people who are waiting for something else from that studio.
Yeah,
and I hear they like totally revamped the controls and everything for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even the same type of game, really, as the first one.
Really?
So, yeah, that was a bit of interesting choice. But, I mean, I think it got better reviews overall than the first one, which is funny. Wow. Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, though, in terms of games that came out this year, that would be my choice, and that's not even really that difficult of a choice. Yeah. Obviously, like, I love Donkey Kong. It's a series that I felt has been slept on for many years.
The first game you ever played was Donkey Kong Country, right?
Yep, it's the first game I ever played on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, wow.
And, I've played... I don't know if I've played, like, a couple of the handheld ones on the DS or whatever, but I've played the vast majority of the Donkey Kong games.
Even DK King of Swing?
I think I played King of Swing, but I think there was a sequel to that on the DS that I didn't play. Oh. I forget what the name of that was. Yeah, but there was... I was waiting for a new one, and then when I found out one was coming out on the Switch, and Kirby Air Riders, which is another thing I've been waiting for a sequel for years for, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a happy camper, and there's no way I can't not get this after like complaining about not having a Donkey Kong game for years.
Exactly, so. Yeah. That's the thing, is a lot of these like series, I think that F-Zero is one of those series that, like, I think people are always like, we need a new F-Zero. We need a new F-Zero. F-Zero's so slept on. We haven't had an F-Zero since GameCube. We need a new F-Zero. I don't think an F-Zero would sell at all, personally. I just think that a lot of people say this, like, I want a new F-Zero. And it's like, I don't know how...
I honestly think F-Zero would sell more if they put Captain Falcon in the title. Because like more people probably know him from Smash Bros than they do from F-Zero.
Yeah, call it Captain Falcon's F-Zero. Yeah. Captain Falcon from Super Smash Brothers is F-Zero.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I've been playing a lot of since we both got Switch 2, so we both have access to the GameCube library on Switch 2. This is a fairly recent, but and I guess it's not even 2025 because I think it just came out a couple days ago as of recording this. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance hit the Nintendo GameCube.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was so weird because they put a trailer for it on like the Japanese YouTube channel for Nintendo, but they didn't announce it until like a day or two after they had actually put it up. I started playing it before they even dropped trailers, and it's really fucking good. I'd never played that one before, and that was
the first one I played because I think it was. No, it wasn't the first one that came out here, but it was the first one that on a console that did.
Yeah. They were the first one that came out was on GBA.
Yeah,
and then they had Sacred Stones, which was on GBA, and then they did Path of Radiance.
Was Sacred Stones before Path of Radiance?
I don't know. It might have been around the same time. I'm not a Fire Emblem expert.
Yeah, and there's still a few Fire Emblem games I have yet to play and everything, but I do really like the series, and Path of Radiance I think is one of the better entries. So.
New one is in the works too.
Yeah, I mean it always is. It's very popular over in Japan.
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, they love it.
Yeah, it's actually funny because like when people say like Nintendo is for little kids, it's just like, well, one of the more mature series came out over in Japan, and it didn't even come out here. And then there's also Metroid, which, you know, doesn't sell that well in Japan and is more of a phenomenon over here. So it's like, you know, they're kind of overlooked some of these.
Yeah, it's so weird. It feels like a lot of the series that do good here don't do good in Japan.
Yeah,
and vice versa. But
Fire Emblem does do good here. But it just didn't come out here for a while.
Yeah, it didn't do great for a little while. I feel like Awakening is when we really turned and it got more mainstream. Not to say that that's the one that like saved the franchise. Although I think I heard rumors of people saying like that apparently Fire Emblem's fate was shaky unless Awakening did well, but I don't know the truth of that.
Fire Emblem Fates was shaky. The game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but yeah, Awakening might be my favorite after Three Houses. They're both really good though.
I've never played Three Houses.
Oh, you really should.
I really should. It's one of those things like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, where it's like I want to play this game, but it's always $80. Like I can't get it on sale ever, and it's like I don't feel like paying $80 for a game that came out in 2018.
But since Donkey Kong Bonanza is our choice, and we're on the topic of Donkey Kong, maybe we should just talk about that a little bit more before we wrap this segment up.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, first of all...
Should we talk about the ending?
Sure, I mean, like, why not? It's spoiler time.
Yeah, it's spoiler time. If you want to skip the discussion, go to this timestamp.
Yeah.
I'm putting my finger up like there's text on screen. It's an audio medium.
Yeah. But it won't be when you put the text on screen.
Yeah, it'll be right over there.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's over here. Oh, you better be careful. It's over here.
You're making this a much harder edit than it needs to be. But anyway, yeah, so the ending... So I actually got spoiled on the fact that King K. Rool is in the game. I didn't know that they were going to go to New Donk City, though. That was pretty
That
cool.
was great. Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And it really does feel like this is like a spiritual successor to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because this game, I picked up Mario Odyssey because it got a Switch 2 update. I tried to play a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Tried to play. That makes it sound like it's a terrible game. It's a fine Mario game, but it just does not hold a candle to Bonanza, honestly. It is so rewarding to play through levels in that game, and just like you can play through it however you want.
Yeah.
Like a lot of games talk about like, oh, you choose your way to play or whatever, stealth or combat. The Donkey Kong Bonanza can let you play it however the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like just like it's your imagination's the limit. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, you could breeze through it and just like go to the end of each level. I'm going on like a completionist kind of thing where I'm, trying to collect all the bananas anyway. Maybe I'll do all the Emerald Rush. I don't know. I got other games to play too.
You got more stuff.
So, but there's I did buy the DLC, so maybe I should finish Emerald Rush. So
yeah, that's $30 worth of content.
Yeah, and so I was really impressed by it because, like you said, I did like Mario Odyssey, but I find that Donkey Kong Bonanza is a better game. There's probably people who would, contest that, but I honestly do. I think that it's a way better use of the character. It's more like original and like special. I find like it's
exactly.
They were able to like try to take more risks with Donkey Kong, because that's one thing I was criticizing about Mario for the longest time is that series. It's been using the same type of art style for the past 20 years. You're not going to get like, the weird boos that you saw in Super Mario Sunshine or like the weird like enemies. They're all kind of like set in stone. And I'm glad that we kind of got something with a different art style and, a different take on Donkey Kong, a different take on Pauline, even though continuity wise it makes no sense. I really like Pauline in this game.
Yeah. Like honestly, I take it as a full like series reboot, and I'm fine with that. Normally I'm not cool with that, where it's like take everything away, but it's not really rebooting, because here's the thing: most of what we know about Donkey Kong was sort of formed by Rareware and like the country games and all the Rare games sort of formed the common Donkey Kong mythos. And then once Rare left, Nintendo didn't really know what to do with that. They had all these characters. The first thing that comes to mind is like Barrel Blast. They have a bunch of characters that like original characters, which don't really work, but they're trying to give that Rareware style.
It was totally unnecessary because they could have just used like other enemies.
Yeah, exactly. But
they could have used Crusha instead of Disco Hair.
Yeah,
whatever the other name was.
There's a lot of fucking characters. It's almost like they were too afraid to use those Rareware characters. And what they've done here is, instead of rebooting the the Rareware games, it almost feels like they've just rebooted the very little information we had about Donkey Kong before Donkey Kong Country.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, is that they do reference events from the Rareware games. There's like a point where they meet Diddy and Dixie, and then they're like, "Oh, we went on an adventure with Donkey Kong and before," and it's just like, okay,
yeah, but and the fact that King K. Rool is here,
yeah, that too. It just like that, and then the fact that New Donk City is a place in here too.
Yeah, it's
so, like,
yeah.
Like, so, but it doesn't make any sense where it's like, you know, Pauline being like a child, and then it's just like they're friends with Donkey Kong, and then like
is the implication that every game that has adult Pauline in it happens after Donkey Kong Bonanza, or
maybe like Pauline has her own line of Paulines where it's just like I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah,
but,
okay, yeah, we're getting too close. We're getting too close to the truth.
Yeah, so. And I thought Cranky was the old Donkey Kong, but anyway, this is what I'm talking about. But I really loved the characterization of Pauline in the game.
Yes.
And it's just like, when's the last time Nintendo had like a helper character that was like that spot on and like, you know, so universally loved? Actually, has there been a time?
No. Their helper characters have always been like one of these.
Hey, listen!
Literally, Retro Studios released Metroid Prime 4 the same year and did fucking terrible with it. And I hate him. It's the only thing I can talk about in this pretty good game. Like, it's very rare to like have like a character like that just feels so I guess not like real, but it feels like grounded, I guess.
Yeah.
In a very strange world. I like taking
they
rests.
Use like voice acting and stuff like that.
Exactly, and just for her.
Yeah,
that's a really cool idea.
Well, I mean, they have like, you know, it's kind of like Banjo-Kazooie gibberish on all the other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like they can communicate somehow. So I don't know.
She just knows.
Yeah,
they're buds.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I really like the resting spots.
Hey DK,
you awake? I love that shit. They had so many of those.
Yeah, exactly, and they had unique dialogue. And you know what? I could have skipped them, but I liked sitting through them and just listening to her. So it's like she was a very endearing character, and she really didn't need to be.
She could have just been silent like all the others.
Yeah, exactly.
But, although I guess she would need a voice to be able to sing. That's her whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah.
I mean, you could just make the singing in isolation.
Exactly.
Like, it's kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VI Remastered.
Yeah.
The opera scene where they just had the voice acting there and nowhere else. But yeah, like they made Pauline, and I've always liked Pauline as a character. But like, she's not a very consistent character. She's kind of different in each game. I mean, in the first Donkey Kong, obviously, she's just like, you know, a sprite.
Trophy. Yeah.
Has no personality. But then she like kind of comes back, and she has this redesign where she's like seductive, and then
which is so weird for a kid's game.
I mean, I guess she wasn't like, you know.
Yeah. It's not super, like she never tits out or anything.
Yeah, she wasn't like Jessica Rabbit or anything.
Yeah,
but like she was.
Although the now that you mention it, the similarities in the design are kind of striking.
Yeah, actually, it's a little bit.
But anyway,
I mean, they're both.
She doesn't have the slit in the dress. It's a lot more toned down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they're both kind of based off that type of era of cartoons, because, you know, Donkey Kong was originally supposed to be a Popeye game. So
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but man, and what if that happened and like this year we were getting like Bluto Bonanza? It's just like...
Could you imagine if Popeye was the biggest face of gaming? Insane.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even get a proper Popeye movie made these days.
Yeah, exactly. I just started watching Primal, the season 3. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They just had the premiere recently. I'm not going to talk about that in this video or in this podcast because that's this year. But like,
yeah. But you know what? That's a great segue.
I didn't see like his movie from last year, the one with the dog getting its balls chopped off.
Oh yeah.
The one that was on Netflix.
I didn't check that out either.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway. So yeah, Bonanza, it was a combination of Mario Odyssey and Donkey Kong stuff, and it was kind of, I felt like I just liked the fact that they used so much like of the destructible terrain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like it was very creative. I thought it was very satisfying. I was kind of thinking that I'd get tired of it after a while, but I honestly didn't, because like the level design I thought was really, really good. And that's another. I thought the level design was better than Mario Odyssey. It was more 100%. Focused, and it was like more like streamlined, and there were still things to find all the time, but like the exploration I think was just done a lot better. So yeah, this was an amazing game. It's like the only 3D Donkey Kong game other than Donkey Kong 64, which is kind of crazy to think about that it took him this long.
God.
But
which I actually 101% or 102 percentage from.
No, it's 101. I think
101% for the first time ever this year.
Yeah,
it was quite the experience.
Yeah, I did that a few years ago for the first time, and yeah, it is.
You really just you just become the game, and you know where everything is and where you have to go, and it's so good.
Yeah. So this was exactly. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's what I expected for a Donkey Kong like 3D thing, just because I had Donkey Kong 64 in my mind. But
exactly.
I am definitely happy this is the direction that they went, and it's really good as it is, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't played it.
Yep, same here. I think we're in agreement there that the best movie of this year, or not the best movie, the best game.
We might have an agreement on the best movie.
We might. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I've got it written down right here. So who knows? The best game definitely goes to Bonanza. I played a couple other games this year. I just picked up Hyrule Warriors. Which
they had a new one this year?
Yeah, the one before was for Breath of the Wild. This one's sort of like in that past era in Tears of the Kingdom. And it's really good. I really enjoy it. It has a lot more emphasis on like the war rather than like just like fighting a disaster, which is cool. Hades 1 and 2, I picked up both this year. Hades is an older game, but Hades 2 came out this year, and I really fucking love that game. I don't play a lot of roguelikes. I picked up Balatro this year, though, as well, so I guess this is the year I get into roguelikes.
I still haven't played any of those games, so maybe...
No, I just... The thing about Hades is... And, again, we'll go over this pretty quickly, but Hades is... all of the characters have so much unique dialogue, it feels stupid. Okay. Like you'll talk to somebody and they'll talk to you, and then you're like, okay, that's dialogue. That's how a game works. And then you make a minor change to like your build, and they'll comment on that. And there'll be a whole line of dialogue with that character just based on like who you talked to, who you last talked to, what you've given them. It's surprisingly, the thing I enjoyed most was just unfolding the stories in these games rather than the really addictive gameplay loop. The only other game I think I'd mention other than those is this year I fell fucking head first into another autistic hyperfixation, and it's fucking Uma Musume Pretty Derby on mobile phones. And now, like, technically it could be played on PC, so I hesitate to call it a mobile game, but it did win best mobile game at the Game Awards, so that means it's best. Basically just like a horse race. It's like if you ever played Football Manager, it's like that, but you're racing horses, but the horses are girls, and it sort of took over my life. As you will maybe figure out as we go through this list. But yeah, I'm gonna say I agree with you on Donkey Kong Bonanza, best game of the year. For sure, best game that came out this year.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like series, TV shows, even if it's like online series, like stuff that you might have watched this year. What were you into?
Okay, so this was actually kind of interesting for TV shows because I found picking the best season of a show this year was kind of hard.
Really?
But I found picking the best episode of a show was very easy.
Really?
And my favorite episode was The Curse of the Green Halloween Witch from Smiling Friends, the season 3 Halloween special.
I literally have just started watching Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
And it is so much funnier than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Coincidence, the last episode I watched was the season 1 Halloween episode.
Which is really good. I
It
like
is.
that
It's
one.
incredibly good. Me and Avery were watching it, and we were a little buzzed. And Avery like legit screamed when the monster showed up.
Yeah.
In that scene where Pym like looks back.
Yeah.
It like got me so bad. It's the juxtaposition of the claymation versus the flatter cartoon animation. I am so glad that Zach Hadel and like all those guys have actually been able to step into the limelight, just because they're so incredibly creative and funny in a way that I can't even pinpoint. It's like it's all in delivery. Like the jokes, there's not a whole lot of. The jokes are all really funny in that show, but where it really shines is in the voice actor's delivery in every line. They could make anything funny. Like, they could read the phone book and be funny.
Yeah, they are, exactly. That's something that is very... And the thing is, like, for as surreal as the show can be, there's also a lot of times where they do the realistic dialogue thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, I love home movies and stuff like that. And this feels like an actual send-up of those things. In fact, there was a video that was like Smiling Friends done in home movies animation, and somebody sent it to Zach Hadel, and he really liked it, from what I understand. So,
I think I've actually seen that. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of is like character designs are just like weird and out there.
Yeah,
and it's like it really they feel like just like scribbles on paper, and I think that adds to the charm of it all.
Yeah,
it really like the animation is all very good, and the art direction's really good, but it sort of plays backseat to like the writing and the characters that you're sort of introduced to.
Yeah, and
you just sort of fall into it, even though it's so absurd.
Yeah, exactly. And that was something that I was really... I mean, I won't spoil anything from the season 3 episode because I know that you'll be watching it, but suffice to say, like, I thought it was the best Halloween special that they've done. Might be my favorite episode of Smiling Friends. I really liked season 3 overall. It might be my... Well, I mean, I watched them all kind of one right after the other. So
yeah, so it all sort of blurs together.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to pick. But yeah, Zach Hadel, I mean, I watched him when he was Psychic Pebbles on YouTube. And, I haven't seen Michael Cusack's other shows. Because I feel like he was the one more in, like, the TV industry.
Yeah.
Because he did, like, YOLO. And he has a new show... what's it called? Koala Man, that I haven't seen yet either.
See, I've never even heard of these.
Yeah, so YOLO was on Adult Swim. Koala Man, I think, is on Amazon, or no, Hulu, and that one just came out this year, actually, or 2025.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, that's a newer show. But Smiling Friends Halloween episode, the Curse of the Green Halloween Witch. That was definitely my favorite episode from television this year. And also the worst episode of television this year was very easy for me to pick too, and that would be Humans Are, which is this finale of Squid Game.
Oh my gosh!
It was just I have so many like different. I don't know if you've seen it or if you plan to.
I plan on it, but it's so hard for me to get motivated whenever I hear that. Like, because I was legit like a couple weeks ago thinking of picking up Stranger Things. Do you know that? Oh, yeah. Now, not anymore, because now everyone's just talking about how horrible it is.
Well, Stranger Things was pretty mid from the beginning, but I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, Squid Game wasn't like that amazing of a show.
The first season was
fun. Yeah, it was good.
But I think it was a product of the time it came out at.
Yeah,
everyone's stuck inside, and yeah.
I mean, there was. It's the type of thing. It's like I've seen it done better in like Battle Royale. I've seen like Korean movies with like the same kind of commentary about class struggles, like Parasite, which was better, and another movie I'm going to be talking about in a bit, which did it better. But Squid Game was serviceable. It was fun, but man, they really fumbled the ball with that last episode. Like, there's so much in the past 2 seasons that I felt just amounted to nothing. But like, and it's just the fucking cliffhanger at the end, and they get like this really fucking weird cameo that if what they're implying is gonna be what they're gonna do after the fact, but I don't want to get too into it. If you plan on seeing it, but yeah, I did not like Squid Game.
Yeah,
this year.
I think I've heard that it's just setting up like the new American Squid Games.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Do you think?
Do you want me to explain exactly what?
No,
happens?
yeah, just tell me. I don't even. Well, I mean, I'll probably forget.
I won't go into like the.
Spoilers for Squid Games. Click here and here and here and here and here and here.
Well, I won't get into like all the problems I had with it, but at least the very ending where it was setting up for the sequel. So they're driving around Los Angeles. The fucking main bad guy, I forget his name, but like the guy who runs the Squid Game,
Mr. Squid Game.
Yeah, Mr. Squid Game. He's driving through Los Angeles after delivering prize money off to the person who won, and so then he goes and he rolls down his window. He sees Kate Blanchett, who is playing the fucking whatever you call it, like the flip thing, the Korean like thing in a Los Angeles alleyway. And Kate Blanchett is apparently going to be, who is by the way not American, and also is like apparently going to be playing Korean schoolyard games in Los Angeles alleyways in order to get people to go to their fucking.
But so wait, you're doing American Squid Games, and you didn't think to play American schoolyard games?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Yeah.
What, like fucking Red Rover with death? That would be amazing.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they do, but like hopscotch, but you die, but like you're suspended above, like 1,000,000 feet above the air. Like, yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why they do that. That makes me so mad. I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah, like I was just looking at it, I was like, what? And then turned around, it was Kate Blanchett. I was like, what? And then it was just over, and I was like, what?
And that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, again, there was more problems with the finale after that, but I mean, like, before that rather.
But like, it's sort of overshadowed by the bigger problem.
Well, no, because like in the whole thing, it's like number one goes back to the fucking Squid Game to play again, and like that's like happens in season 2.
Yeah,
and then meanwhile his buddies are just on like the coast of like, or not the coast, but they're out in the Korean Sea trying to find the island while he's there, and he joined in the Squid Games. And so at the end of the fucking show, like one of the characters has a baby halfway through, and then she dies, and so then they keep the baby there, and the baby becomes her replacement. So like
what?
So he takes the baby to the final Squid Game where there needs to be one of them left, and then he kills himself so that the baby can live, and so that's why he was in Los Angeles delivering the prize money to the baby's like next of kin, I guess, or the mother.
But the baby won. Give it to the baby.
Well, yeah, but
if the baby is old enough to play the Squid Games, give him the money.
And so this whole thing, it's like the whole part in the Korean, like when they're in the Korean Sea and they're on the boat, it's so boring. It goes nowhere. But then at the end of the fucking show, that's what ends up happening to get like the Squid Games shut down, because they do find the island and they go there.
Okay.
And so this whole point of him going back and participating in the Squid Games led to nothing. It was complete bullshit. And it was the fucking A story, and then the B story where nothing was happening ended up being the thing that solved everything. And so I was fucking pissed.
I would be too.
It's like,
what the? I'm mad just listening to you talk about this. Fuck.
So it's just like everything that happened in seasons 2 and 3 amounted to fuck all, just so that Kate Blanchett can play Korean games in Los Angeles alleyways and recruit people.
Why Kate Blanchett? I don't get it. Is that just all you could get? Like,
I can't imagine.
Get The Rock or something. You could do that. You're Netflix.
Yeah. So,
he's willing to do whatever.
Well, no, not whatever. Just anything that suits his like image. So I don't know if he would do like.
Well, he's a real actor now. We'll talk about that later.
We got thanks to Benny.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's. So yeah, so I guess that would be my worst episode, and I guess you could also say that's the worst season of anything that I watched this year was Squid Game season 3. I really did not like it. So.
Yeah. For in terms of TV, in terms of like American TV, I have watched basically nothing of new shows.
Okay.
If I'm being real. But I did a lot of rewatches this year of shows that I really, really enjoyed. Started off the year with Lost. Watched all 6 seasons of Lost because my boyfriend had never seen it. And God, that show is fucking crazy. I can't even like recommend it in good conscience. Yeah. But it is just insane. Like the level, like it is like you can, as a kid, I was like a staunch defender of the show. Like, no, they're not making it up as they go. Watching it again, it really does feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're trying
Calvin Ball pretty much.
Exactly, they're legit playing Calvin Ball with the story writing. I still really like all the characters they introduced. All the performances are really great. The writing in the last couple seasons leaves something to be desired, but the spectacle sort of makes up for it. So. Okay. I'd still say I'd recommend Lost. If you haven't seen Lost, I also watched this same year. They released a documentary, Getting Lost, about the production of the show and the fandom of the show and everything. And that was a pretty good documentary too. Might have just been because I just watched the show. So maybe watch the show first before you watch that.
Yeah. I haven't seen Lost, by the way, so I have no opinion.
Yeah, there you go. Dexter is a rewatch that I've started as well.
Oh, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't put down Dexter Resurrection as something that I watched this year, the new season.
Yeah, and you liked that one, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Which is surprising. It ended well. That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that after season 4 of Dexter, they got a different showrunner for season 5, and then they got another showrunner for season 6, 7, and 8, and people say that it really went downhill after that happened, but with these new 2 seasons, they got the first showrunner back, and that's why they were like doing a lot of course correcting, and I think that it's all the better for it. There's a huge leap in logic at the beginning of the resurrection that I won't get into, but
whatever you need to do to get back to normal.
Yeah, but after that, when he actually goes to New York City and like it takes place there, it starts to be really good. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, the Dexter is still really good. It's a riot. I love watching it. I like Michael C. Hall is so amazing as this character. He really sells like the whole serial killer, like stealth serial killer thing. Yeah. But at the same time, watching it again, it's like this guy is so bad at hiding that he's a serial killer. I can't believe people didn't figure it out sooner. But that's just part of the fun of it. And my biggest rewatch, this is what I'm watching right now, is I'm doing my big Vince Gilligan project where I am watching. We've just finished all 6 seasons of Better Call Saul up to the
Fun and Games.
Yeah, we watched
the name of the episode.
Fun and Games was the last episode we watched, and then we've switched over to Breaking Bad. We're gonna watch all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, and then El Camino, and then the last 4 episodes of Better Call Saul. Yeah. Honestly, I sort of always watched all these shows like in isolation. Watching them all one after the other is so rewarding to like recognize little things that you didn't recognize before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is that what part of Breaking Bad are you at right now?
We are in season 2, episode 7.
Yeah, because I remember you saying that you didn't really like El Camino when it came out. I think that it works a lot better if you see it as like just an extra episode of the show than if you just saw it as like a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, because like it's not like the answers of anything like that it was like bad or anything like when it came to the fate of Jesse or anything like that. But I feel like it really is a lot better as when you look at it as an epilogue rather than like a movie or
exactly. Yeah, it's a send off for the character. We're never gonna see him again. Basically, is what this is saying. Is he's gone, and I love that for him. Saul gone. Which is, by the way, I'm gonna say definitively, Better Call Saul is at least 1.5 times better than Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
It's
that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if it's twice the show, but it is definitely, there's something extra in. I don't know if it's Bob Odenkirk. I don't know if it's Rhea Seehorn. I don't know if it's just the entire creative team.
I think it's all those things.
Really. I don't know if it's how much I love Howard Hamlin. He is my favorite character in that fucking show.
Yeah.
Watching it again with new eyes has changed every single scene with Howard, knowing what his fate is at the end.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, you can't do this. I've never felt so, like, I've never done a rewatch like this and still felt so attached to the characters. So I'm so excited to finish Breaking Bad and then go back and finish those last 4 episodes of Saul, because I can't believe, I'm so excited to see how everything sort of fills out, you know? It's going to be great. And I can't really pick a TV, my best or worst TV show, but I did watch a lot of anime this year.
Before we go on that, I might as well interject, because we were on Vince Gilligan and I watched Pluribus this year.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet. That is my next stop after Saul is done.
Yeah, exactly. So Pluribus was a show. I saw some people online saying that they were disappointed by it, and they said that, like, it started strong and then it kind of slowed down. And
but that's always what Vince Gilligan shows were like.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is kind of that's kind of true. And I will say that I don't think it's as good as Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, but I still think that it's a really good show, because my whole thing going into it is like, if this is half as good as those two shows, then it'll be amazing. And I would say it's about half as good as Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. So.
Yeah, like if it's half as good as Better Call Saul, it's like 0.7888 repeating as Breaking Bad. If you take my math into it.
But yeah, Rhea Seehorn is like really fantastic in that show.
She's just an incredible actress. Yeah. I don't know how like Hollywood hasn't been sleeping on her, but continue sleeping on her, because I don't want to ruin.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. I was looking at interviews with Vince Gilligan. He's like, oh, well, someone else is going to snatch her up if I don't make a series with her, so therefore I should probably do it. I was like, hey, go for it, man. So,
bravo, Vince.
Yeah, as they say.
Yeah.
She's a really great driving force. It's a very heady kind of like show. There's a lot of shows, or a lot of episodes, where it's just kind of the characters processing the emotions and the plot doesn't really move forward.
But that sounds great to me. Honestly, the best parts of Better Call Saul are the parts where characters are just sort of absorbing their emotions and working through them. And, and this show is a lot more like that. Because, I mean, Better Call Saul, some people said it was too slow for them. I know that. And but I would argue that even if you thought that like it was dialogue heavy and kind of not as action packed, there were still story beats moving forward at pretty much all times in that show. There was a lot going on, and Pluribus, it's not like nothing's happening, but there is a lot more of like just absorbing kind of the thing in it. And it was kind of funny. It was I was wondering if anybody from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul would make a cameo, and there's one point where there's this automated phone message that plays whenever Carol, the main character, is calling the aliens or whatever you want to call them, and the voice on the other end is Patrick Fabian. Yes!
Yeah.
Howard Hamlin lives!
He doesn't actually appear like physically on screen, but you hear his voice.
It's definitely him. He's got a very distinct voice.
Yeah, and it's pretty hilarious.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was, and it's a beautifully made show. Yeah, it's beautifully acted.
I'll say this right now. I've seen the first episode because Prime lets you watch the first episode, and then you have to pay for Apple TV. Yeah. But I was immediately hooked, and I knew I had to check it out. But not with my Breaking Bad rewatch. I need to be in the zone, in the Albuquerque zone.
Yeah, it's interesting that they got Carol, or they played to live in Albuquerque too. I guess that was just kind of.
It's like Vince Gilligan is to Albuquerque what Stephen King is to Maine. He just makes all his stories take place there.
I thought you were going to say John Waters to Baltimore, but
that too.
But okay, but yeah. I'd say Pluribus is really good. It's kind of the same thing with like Better Call Saul season 1, where it's like, oh, it's much slower, but it's like, I know who's behind this. I know that it's all going to amount to something really fucking amazing, and I still enjoy watching it too. And there's a really great well, actually, I guess I don't want to ruin it, but there's a really hilarious cameo in it from an actor that I didn't expect. So it was there's a lot of and anybody who's watching or listening to this who's seen Pluribus knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's and it does make you kind of like wonder about like, you know, the whole hive mind mentality. It's like, would this be better? And what would you do in this situation? Because like there's like some characters that close themselves off completely from humanity. There's like this one guy who's just like fucking a bunch of supermodels. There's this like there's one girl who just is like with her family that she had before, and she's just pretending it's the same. And it's just like these are all things that are like, you know, they all kind of make sense, like these reactions to it. But it's like, it's kind of makes you wonder what you would do in that scenario, which I think is like good sci-fi.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't know Vince had good sci-fi in him.
Oh, well, I mean, he started before Breaking Bad. He was a writer on the X-Files. So
see, I didn't even know that. Well, there you go.
Yeah, because that's why Bryan Cranston guest starred on an episode of the X-Files, and then
really,
yeah, when he was pitching the show to AMC, he was just like he wanted Bryan Cranston to play Walter, but they're like, the Malcolm in the Middle guy is like, no, watch this episode of the X-Files and then you'll see. And so
oh, that's great.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't know that. That's like
I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm probably going to go real into behind the scenes stuff afterward, and I'll probably learn a bunch of shit I didn't know before. But
you know, Peter Gould, the guy who like co-created Better Call Saul, he was one of the writers on Double Dragon from the fucking 90s. I didn't like look it up. You don't even believe me.
Again, the audio. It's an audio medium. I just need you to know that I just stared at Ian for like 5 full uninterrupted seconds. like the 90s one.
Yeah, the movie. Well, I don't know if there was another Double Dragon movie after that.
I'm pretty sure there was not another Double Dragon movie after that one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, he was one of the writers on Double Dragon, the movie, and then Vince Gilligan wrote Hancock. So it's actually kind of funny. It's like, you know, I've listened to a lot of the creative process, and they often talk about like how they don't know certain characters what they're going to be until they get the actors.
I know this much.
Yeah, they get the actors on board, and you know they get them. So I actually think that Vince Gilligan's more attuned to do like television than features, because you don't really get that luxury with features
exactly
to like rewrite like what's going to come after based on like how the actors are performing it.
That's why I think I agree with you that El Camino is better as like an extra episode than a movie, because as a movie it doesn't really fit as much, but as a piece of an overarching story, it's really, really, really good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of interesting that, and I also wonder what Peter Gould is. I hope that he gets a TV show deal, because I mean, I know everybody goes bravo Vince, but he was more the driving force for Better Call Saul. Because like, I mean, Vince Gilligan, I think for seasons 4 and 5, he wasn't even in the writers' room. Better Call Saul,
it was mostly Peter Gould.
Yeah, because he was on, he was doing the El Camino and probably getting Pluribus off the ground. But he came back for season 6 though, so he. But yeah, I mean, Pluribus I thought was a really good follow-up to Breaking Bad, and I like that it's a new original show idea.
It doesn't have to be, you know, Better Call Huel or something.
Yeah, so and I hope that we get more of that, and we are encouraging people to like
be original
and have like original ideas and stuff like that. So
absolutely, yeah. Well, I think that's probably... Oh, I should mention. I was going to say before, I watch a lot of anime. because I'm not going to justify it. I don't have to justify myself to you people.
Because you like anime.
Because I like anime. It's really good. A lot of good stuff that came out this year. Anne Shirley. I know you had a discussion with our friend Jason about Anne Shirley. Have you actually... I haven't got a chance to check it.
I haven't seen the show, no.
The show itself is quite good. It is... and for those of you who don't know, Anne Shirley is an anime adaptation of Anne of Green Gables, which primarily takes place in our home province of Prince Edward Island. It is very popular.
I think it entirely takes place there, except for like when...
Yeah, she moves away and she goes to Ontario at some point, and which I think is all covered under the show, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that happens when she's an adult, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the show covers most of her.
Have they gotten up to that point already?
I haven't entirely caught up on the show. I know I'm talking about it right now, but I haven't entirely caught up on it. We're currently watching it, but it is sort of going through her life and like multiple different books of source materials, which is awesome. It's really good to see because this is a beloved story in Japan, mostly because it's taught in their English curriculum. And it brings a lot of tourists all the time. Basically, our entire economy is based on like Japanese people who liked Anne of Green Gables.
Not really. That'd be funny if it was, but like, no, we fucking just ship potatoes out for all the other provinces.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but aside from potatoes and
for
lobsters,
actual tourism, it's probably Anne of Green Gables.
yeah, I'd say that. Another one I watched is Takapi's Original Sin, which is a 6-episode miniseries that sort of follows... Do you ever watch like Doraemon or anything? You know anything about that?
I know a little bit about it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, like magical robot type like animes where it's like this magical alien robot has come to make our lives better, and it's sort of a wholesome idea. Yeah. This sort of flips it on its head and turns it into a thrilling, dramatic, horrifying piece of fiction that will make you cry your fucking eyes out multiple times. I was not ready for what I experienced, but it is the most depressing show I've seen this whole year. And again, it's only 6 episodes. Please check this out, because I don't need more of this, because it sort of wraps everything up with a pretty bow right at the end. But it just I know that the creator of the original manga has more things like this, and I want to see that. I want to see that animated. So absolutely, please go show your love to that. Probably my anime of the year, I would say, would be Sanda, which is basically this is an anime that takes place in like the far, I guess that it's sort of vague. It's like either the far or the near future in Japan, where birth rates have declined so much that children are sort of coddled and made.
Sounds like the near future.
Yeah, exactly. So are coddled and sort of groomed to want to grow up and get married and reproduce. Yeah. But the thing that's thrown into that is, because of that, there's not a whole lot of whimsy and fun in the world. Even Christmas is banned in Japan because kids like dream and hope too much. Because they need to grow up and reproduce. But the main character of
Christmas, in Japan, all they do for Christmas is go to KFC.
I know. I don't know. Something about maybe about? KFC is. But anyway, the main character of the show turns out to be the long lost descendant of Santa Claus, and he has to fight an evil headmaster at this school who is trying to control children and like brainwash their minds to further his agenda. It is so it's goofy, it's funny, but it also tackles a lot of like issues about growing up. Most of the show, there's action and stuff. I don't know if I'd call it like shonen or seinen. It's in this weird middle area. The original manga was created by Haru Itagaki, she is best known for Beastars, which is an anime about
I know what that
yeah,
is.
exactly. She's also the daughter of the mangaka for Baki the Grappler, which is another very famous, very weird manga, which I'm also a huge fan of, which has another season coming out on Netflix very soon, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, it sort of follows this. Again, I'm getting all over the place. So there is action and things like that, but the real draw of it is learning about all these characters and how growing up like this has affected them, being like afraid to grow up because the society has sort of drawn this line in the sand where once you turn 18 and you hit puberty, you are now worth less than you were before. And it just sort of it's honestly some of the best anime I've watched this whole year. It's probably my favorite anime. The only other thing that I could say that was nearly that good was Cinderella Grey, which, surprise, is a Umamusume anime covering the story, the life and story of Oguri Cap, which is a Japanese racehorse from the 80s, now reborn as a teenage girl to run very, very fast. And it's just a really good sports anime that I don't think that there is like a main Umamusume anime, and it's more like a moe Lucky Star type, like cute girls doing cute things, sort of not as big on like the sports side of it. This is a bona fide sports anime where they pour like blood, sweat, and tears, and you really, really feel for it, where it gets to the point where you just sort of forget the out there premise.
Yeah.
And it's really incredible. I really highly recommend you check it out. I imagine if you're playing the game already, you've already checked it out. But yeah, the Sonda and Cinderella Grey are for sure some of the best TV I've seen this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I guess I could go into some of the other shows that I watched.
Yeah, go over anything else we might have missed before we go into movies.
Yeah, okay. So oh yeah, so they had a reboot of King of the Hill this year, season 14.
Yes!
And that was one of those things where it's like, really? They're doing this thing where like they're aging up the characters, and then Hank's been in Saudi Arabia for like 15 years. Like, that sounds kind of out there. Like, it sounds like it could be funny, but it just seems like, oh, is this going to work? And it does. Like, this is the best maybe like legacy reboot of a show I've seen, I don't know in how long. Like,
which is so surprising. I think everyone was a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Mike Judge, like, his reboot of Beavis and Butthead turned out well.
Yeah,
so I mean,
and honestly, just you're from
second. Oh fuck, the stampede upstairs.
There's a stampede going on upstairs. No, it doesn't seem to be showing up that much. We're fine.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, everything you've told me about like the Beavis and Butthead reboot is like, okay. So, like I guess I was a little bit more optimistic going in because I know that Mike Judge seems to know how to do this sort of thing.
Exactly.
Especially, I've seen a little bit of the Beavis and Butthead stuff. A lot of the stuff where they're like aged up and older. Those are some of the funniest episodes I find.
Absolutely.
And it really made me, optimistic, and I feel like my optimism was not misplaced.
Yeah.
What I've seen of it, I haven't seen all of it yet. I've only seen a couple of episodes, but it's really fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, they really managed to capture like the voice of the original series. I mean, I find it's a little bit more like gaggy than like the original show.
Really, a little bit more,
but not like to an excessive amount. It still feels like that down to earth, like King of the Hill vibe.
Exactly.
It's just, there's a lot more of like commentary on like masculine toxic culture. And,
exactly.
There's like some more like cartoony characters and stuff like that. But I would say that like everything, like the characters all seem to have their voices like both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Like, Pamela Aldon, like I was so impressed like that Bobby actually sounds like a little bit older.
Yes,
but still at the same time she's still manages to, find the right tone to where it sounds like the character and it fits, but I was very impressed by her performance.
Yeah, like you sort of see a character like Bobby Hill, and it's like you can't imagine him without that voice.
Yeah.
But you also can't really imagine an adult man with that voice either. But it sort of melds in, and it's a really good performance.
Yeah, and I'm glad they got most of the cast back. Obviously, Johnny Hardwick died while they were doing the show. And
a lot of people died.
Yeah, well, that was one thing too. Is like they didn't address at all what happened to Luann, like in any of the episodes, and I felt like there would at least be like a throwaway line or something. But
yeah, no. I guess you know what? I imagine that they really tried, but they couldn't find like a respectable way to do that. I imagine,
maybe.
Yeah, but, who knows?
Maybe they'll bring that up eventually, but who knows?
Who knows? Maybe season 2 of the King of the Hill reboot.
Yeah, and it already is coming out.
Yeah.
With, season 15 of King of the Hill is coming.
Are they calling it season 15?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that.
There was actually, I remember finding out recently that, I forget which season, it might have been season 9 or season 10 of King of the Hill, but that one, like, the show was very close to getting canceled, and they thought it was going to be the final episode, so they had this whole thing where this was a deleted scene but it was like a minute, or they were talking about like all the events that happened in King of the Hill, and they're like, man, that was a crazy year, implying that the entire show just took place over like 1 year. But like,
oh, that's hilarious.
But since the show kept going, they removed that deleted scene, but you can find it on YouTube.
Oh, and that's great.
Yeah. But there's with this, like, they did like a really good job at making it feel more modern, but at the same time still like the same family, still the same characters, still retaining everything that they had. And yeah, I was very, very impressed. Like, this was best case scenario, kind of like, I don't know what else I could possibly ask for from a King of the Hill reboot.
Yeah. So I don't even know what I would ask for from a King of the Hill reboot, but yeah, from what I've seen, they definitely delivered.
Yeah. And so there was the new season of South Park. This honestly was not one of the better seasons of South Park.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing this thing recently. They did it with Tegrity Farms, where they're like, okay, we're gonna replay the same joke over and over again, and it's gonna like annoy the fan base, and then we're gonna be kind of taking the piss out the fan base by doing exactly what they don't want us to do.
I kind of like that.
I like that in concept. I thought it was done, like in season 2 when they do the whole "will not be shown tonight," so you could do Terrence.
Yeah,
like that's great. But when you do it over the course of like, an entire season, and that's kind of like the part of the joke. It's kind of like
patience starts to wear thin.
Yeah. And they did the whole thing with Trump in office this year, where they basically turned him into Saddam Hussein, and that was like, oh, this is so brilliant that they were doing, because it felt like, more the older way that South Park did parodies, where like more recently they kind of make them closer to like the actual like celebrity. But if you go back to like Saddam Hussein or even like Mel Gibson, the way that they just make them so crazy and out there,
where it's like, how do you even like because at that point it's like, how do people like say that you're like the real people in real life can't get mad at you, because it's like, what are we saying about you that you're just like a fucking cartoon character?
Yeah. So they had this whole storyline this year with Trump and Satan, where like Satan got pregnant and was going to have the Antichrist, which, by the way, wasn't there a season 1 episode where they had Damien, which was a character? So doesn't Satan already have a kid?
Trey.
Do they just forget about this?
Matt and Trey, you forgot the important lore of South Park.
Yeah. But like, yeah, and they do this whole thing where it's like half the episodes, like, there's always a Trump storyline going on, and then there's always a storyline going on in the town, and it's very every single time, like, episode they introduced a new sort of person in the American political candidate. So like, and honestly, I don't follow American politics that closely, so after they get past Trump and JD Vance, I'm like, who the fuck is Peter Thiel? Who the fuck is
they get really into it.
Yeah, and it's just like, it just feels like they've done more of like the the thing where like they're looking at the news for like inspiration, and then there's this one part later in the season where it's like Stan, Kyle, and Kenny, and they're like, well, it is honestly one of the few times where it felt like they were being disingenuous, Matt and Trey.
Really?
Because it just seemed like they had this conversation where it's just like, remember when it used to be just us guys doing everything? South Park sucks now because of all this political stuff. And so then did like this whole campaign, and it's just like, things will get better. We just gotta make do of, where we are right now. And so it's just like, to me, it felt like they're saying, like, if it was their choice, they would just make episodes focusing on the boys, but it's not their choice because they have, like, this political storyline going on. And
but you wrote the political storyline.
That's, I guess, what people are expecting. And it's just like, at any point, you could have dipped out of this and gone back to fucking episodes where it was just Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny, which they do kind of do more at the end of the season. But, I don't know. It just felt like it felt one of the few times where I'm just like, you guys are really bullshitting me right now. I don't believe.
And not in a fun way.
Yeah, exactly. So, but, there was still funny stuff. There's still, good moments. There was one episode about AI, like Sora 2, where like they were having, I think it was Butters was making revenge porn by having like, like cartoon characters fucking the girls at like school. And then like they got like taken in by the police, Butters and Kenny, and then it's like the Studio Ghibli showed up. Is like, why were you looking Totoro's ass? That's like, there was like funny stuff, but like,
oh my god,
it was. I really like the Detective Yates. I think he's an underrated character.
Oh yeah,
and so it's just like, it was just the Studio Ghibli guys going like, "Oh, we made Totoro," and then Kenny's like, "Oh," he's like, "I can't understand a damn word anyone is saying." And so it's just,
he's great. I love him.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff. I do hope that they course correct going ahead in South Park, because it was actually this year they also did an episode that marked the end of Tegrity Farms.
Oh
so, they was like, okay, we're putting a close on that. But then they just kind of they make the same mistake they made with Tegrity Farms, which was them just focusing on one aspect that nobody asked them to focus in on, and making that the joke, that the fact that they have to focus on this. And it's
you can only make the joke that the people watching your show don't like your show that so many times until they stop taking the piss.
Yeah, exactly. So I just hope that they kind of get back on track, and it's just like, what happened to the episodes where it was just like Cartman dresses up as a robot and goes and like pretends to be Buddy's friend. It's just like, I want more of that.
It's just so everything's so out there. It would be nice to sort of,
So, but it is kind of this thing where it's like it's maybe, and this is just I think a natural thing when you're in like a long running show like that. It's like people kind of expect things from you, and then as much as we'd like to admit, or as much as we'd like to think we're not products of our reception and like our biases and stuff, I do think like if everybody's like saying, oh, this is the show that talks about things when it happens because they make it in a week, there's more of like there's an obligation for them to actually do that. And it's just like,
this doesn't sound right. It's almost like they're like Flanderizing the writing of the show itself. It's like just sort of what they expect, the archetype. And it's like, I'm sure that they'll course correct. It's been a weird little bit of time for South Park. So,
and if they don't, I mean, like then the fucking Kyle's speech about how things are gonna get back to normal is just all for naught.
All for nothing. And then it'll be actually disingenuous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the whole thing is like last year the elections were happening and they didn't do a season of South Park, and they're like, oh, we just don't like doing the political stuff. What was this year?
Oh my god.
That's what this was. So it's just but
oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't know. A little bit disappointed with South Park this year. One thing I was not disappointed though, and this might be my choice for overall season this year, is The Rehearsal.
Oh,
Nathan.
I'm still not caught up in The Rehearsal. Okay, I'm gonna watch The Rehearsal legit once I drive you home. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching it on the car ride back, so I don't forget.
Season 2, it was like this whole thing where Nathan Fielder actually went under training to be a pilot, and like when I say training, like he literally did the like actual amount of hours you need to become a pilot for this season,
Just
like
for the
800 or whatever, and like he records all of it, and it's like, you know, I don't find the show as funny as Nathan For You overall.
But I don't think
like,
it's trying to be.
No, yeah, it's trying to be more of like this thing. And there's even like a kind of a segment in the episode where it's just like, you know, we have to make this a comedy documentary show. So here's a giant baby. And so it's just like it's so but you know, it's really funny when it needs to be, but it's also extremely interesting, and it's like he found this kind of thing where you know, he's naturally transitioning into doing stuff that's just flat out interesting as much as it is funny. And like, I was very like, it was another thing where I watched the Rehearsal season 1 this year, but I mean the 2 seasons are totally distinct from each other,
right?
So it's not like Smiling Friends where it all kind of blended together. Yeah, but yeah, love the Rehearsal, love Nathan Fielder, and very impressed by this new season. So
yeah. I guess the first divergence, my favorite season of TV was the Santa Claus anime, and yours was Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think from here, all that we have left is film of the year. Yeah. What is the best movie that came out this year? Now, first of all,
I actually did a top 5.
You did? Okay.
Because the whole thing, I was like, I hadn't seen that many movies this year as much as I would want to, partially because I'm in PEI right now and there's not access to a lot of the things that I would have access to. But I feel like even if I do more, like, see more movies and like make a bigger list, these would all probably still be in my top 10. I'm pretty confident about the top 5 that I have.
Awesome.
And I also have a worst movie of the year. I think you do too, maybe?
Yes, I do. It might be the same. No, I don't know about you.
I don't think but anyway, we'll get into
that. Yeah, we'll get to that. All right. So, yeah, I don't have a top 5, so why don't you run through your top 5, and if any come up that you aren't talking. I feel like most of the best movies we saw this year, we saw together.
Yeah, I think there's 2 in here that you probably haven't seen, though.
Okay.
And one of them is number 5, which is Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. Yeah. I haven't seen this. The only fucking one of these guys' movies I saw was Smashing Machine, and that was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, Smashing Machine was Benny Safdie's outing this year. Benny Safdie also
put some respect on his name. That's Bowser Jr. you're talking to.
Yeah. So I did see Bowser Jr.'s previous work with Nathan Fielder. He did The Curse, that TV show.
Yes, so, no, you told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and but other than that, I just saw, you know, I haven't seen Heaven Knows What yet, but I've seen Uncut Gems and Good Time, and I liked them both. I really liked Good Time, and I really loved the ending of The Curse, specifically the final episode. I thought was fantastic. The rest of the series was really good too, but like that might be my favorite thing in isolation that they've done is the final episode of The Curse.
Wow, yeah.
And so, yeah, so I already knew that Bowser Jr. had his good filmography and that he did things on his own, but I hadn't seen anything that Josh Safdie did on his own.
Josh Bowser.
I can't even make that work in my mind. So, but yeah, I haven't seen anything that Josh Safdie had done. I don't even know what he has done outside of this, but yeah. So I was very impressed by this. It's loosely based on a real ping pong champion from the 50s, but it's very much
like its own thing.
Yeah, it's not. Like, it's very cartoony and over the top, and it's trying to be, and it's not even really a sports movie in the way that you would think that it's like all about ping pong. Like, there's when they do the ping pong scenes, like they're really well shot, and you do really get into the experience of them. But there's a lot of different storylines going on about like just this crazy life that he leads, and you know how he's like this big hotshot, and he's pissing off all these different people who are all coming after him in his own ways. And it's just
honestly, it feels like ping pong, but it's like Uncut Gems.
Yeah, and it's very much in the style of those things. I'd like to see, now that they're separated and they're doing their own things, how their own specific styles like develop over time, and see if I could put like, oh, this is a Josh movie, this is a Bowser Jr. movie, and so then with all these different things though, and like Timothée Chalamet is an actor who I've always liked. I've never been like super over the moon about him. I think he's,
I thought he was pretty good in Dune. I thought he was good in Wonka.
Yeah, I liked him in Wonka a lot, and I thought he was decent in Call Me by Your Name and a few other things. But like, this is definitely the best thing. Like,
Really?
this is the quality that he can keep up going forward. I don't know if it's like the best performance of the year or anything, but I'd say this is definitely the best Timothée Chalamet I've seen so far. He really, like, I don't feel like I'm looking at Timothée Chalamet when I watch this movie like I did with Dune and like I did with Call Me by Your Name and all those other things. Like, I really feel like he really went into this character of Marty Mauser, and he really pulled it off. And it's a beautifully shot movie. It's I think that it was one of the highest budgeted A24 movies, maybe even the highest. It would have like a budget of 70 million or something like that.
Wow.
And it's 2.5 hours long, which I thought might be a bit exhausting for this type of style of movie, but no, it's not. Like, it really is able to, like, it was able to keep me going through the whole thing, and I really liked it.
Awesome. I'm definitely checking that out. I heard it was very polarizing, but now it's sort of settled down since it came out. I feel like the opinion that I've been seeing is just overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so number 4 is Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, Marty Supreme, you could argue, is a better made movie. I just really like Weapons a lot. Like,
this is one that we saw together, and my God, what a good fucking horror movie! Like, it's. I'll say this about Weapons. It is the only movie one of the only movies I've ever seen where I was like belly laughing in the theater out loud. Like when you're in the theater, you laugh a little bit politely because you don't want to ruin everyone's fun. But the ending of Weapons made me legit. I was like ruffling. Yeah. Like I could not believe. And you know what? I don't even think it was that I thought it was funny. It was the tension being released when the kid breaks the twig from the tree in that last moment. It really feels like it's almost like a chiropractor doing an adjustment. Like, I had all this tension built up, and then it's released.
Yeah. And, I always find that, like, when you go into a movie like that, or just any kind of movie that's not labeled as a comedy, there's a lot of people in the audience where they don't know whether they're supposed to laugh or not. So, like, there's a lot of, like, dead air at parts that I think are really funny in other movies. But, like, during this time in Weapons, like, everybody was laughing at these scenes. Like, there was a big audience uproar of, like, especially at the end with all the kids. So, like, it was so well done because, like, I could even tell that this was something that general audiences, they would know is funny and is trying to be funny.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And, the fact it's directed by one of the whitest kids I know, Zach Kreger, who I didn't like. I mean, I remember when Trevor Moore died, and I was like, oh, well, this group is going to kind of fall into obscurity, and like...
Guess not.
Yeah, no, fucking... Boy, was I wrong. I'm really glad that that's the case, too.
Because...
Whitest Kids You Know is, I think, pretty underrated. For,
absolutely.
I think it was one of those shows that really combined, like, the classic format of, like, sketches with, like... like the Monty Python and the kids and the whole thing, but with the attitude and like the mentality of like the newer internet generation.
Right, yeah.
And I felt like that it's
so
really
it sort of
underrated.
felt like that, but like at the time it felt like, the first thing I thought of was like Derek comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like closer to that than, this is Kids in the Hall Monty Python.
Yeah, exactly. So Derek comedy would be another one that did kind of have that thing, except that was actually for YouTube. And,
yeah, exactly.
Whitest Kids was for television, but yeah,
it sort of blurred the boundary.
Yeah, I was very like, because I remember when Barbarian was coming out, I was like, that can't be the same Zach Kreger I'm thinking.
It's got to be a different Zach Kreger.
And so, but it's like, no, it was, and I thought Barbarian was really good. I thought Weapons was way better. Like, I thought, like it was.
Barbarian was pretty good, but Weapons was like at that time I was like, it's gonna be really hard to top. This, but of course that was in like July. So
yeah, I remember when we saw it. It was my favorite movie that I had seen
at that
so
point.
far at that point in the year. But yeah, I was very, very impressed with the storytelling. I know that he was inspired by Magnolia a lot, which explains
Right.
like all the different characters and stuff and the stories that they follow and the way that it kind of plays with time. And it's like it's kind of like a puzzle, but at the same time it's a horror movie. It's both psychologically interesting. It's, you know, pretty horrific at times. It's hilarious when it needs to be. Maybe in terms of like movies that had like the most laughs that I had, but possibly. I mean, there's this.
Oh yeah,
There's stuff coming up. Actually, I take that back. That's probably not true because the three movies above this are still really funny movies.
Yeah.
But so was Marty Supreme. I guess this was a good year for comedy.
Yeah,
in
no, for
movies,
real.
so.
Comedy's legal again, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you just don't make it just about the fucking Trump administration week after week. Anyway, but like,
I can tell you have very strong feelings.
But yeah, Weapons was just fantastic. I really liked. I would like to see it again. I've only seen it the one time. I think you rewatched it with Avery.
I did. Yeah. No, watch it again, because watching it again is you see a whole lot of other things that you missed before.
Yeah.
And no, definitely, it's definitely one that I would rewatch.
Yeah, and and I could tell that it was that type of movie that Zach Kreger was making. Is that it was the type that, you know, the more that you watch it, the more that you kind of analyze it, the more you'll get out of it, really. And,
yeah, exactly.
It's not just a surface level, you know, horror movie of the week type of thing. It has lasting impact, and like
and they've already announced a spin-off for Aunt Gladys, and
Nice.
and I well, I was a little worried at first because it's like, I don't know what you could do with that, but then I hear that Zach Kreger has was on board for it and he has ideas, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, as long as you're here, I think we're gonna be fine.
So Weapons was I knew that was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be my movie of the year when I saw it, but I knew it was going to be on my list.
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew it was going to be at least in my top 5.
Yeah, and so number 3 is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. I was really, really impressed by this.
I would say this is probably my number 2. I was so incredibly now that technically this movie's not out yet, right? It comes out officially in February, but we saw it this year.
Yeah, because it was at the Charlottetown Film Festival. That's a thing.
Yeah, apparently Charlottetown is a film festival.
Yeah, it was playing Canadian movies, and one of them was Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. And, you know, Matt Johnson is someone who I've followed for a little while now, and, I watched The Dirties and Operation Avalanche, and Nirvana, the band, the show, I thought was his best work. And this movie might be the best part of Nirvana, the band, the show, as much as I really like the web series and the fucking TV show.
Oh, yeah. This is another one of these things that sort of plunged me down like an autistic rabbit hole of hyperfixation, of just watching, rewatching. It's just, I was just obsessed. Even before I really knew what Nirvana, the band, the show was, I followed a Twitter account called We Shop Wednesday that would just play that We Shop channel song every single Wednesday. And so every Wednesday I would listen to that whole video again. So I'm intimately familiar with them, I guess.
Yeah.
The movie is just incredible. It's like exactly what you want from a movie like this.
Yeah. Because Matt Johnson's previous movie was Blackberry, which was his biggest, most like mainstream success.
Yeah.
And then because it was such a big hit, they're like, hey, we'll give you the money to do whatever you want with this next project, and you can just do whatever. And then they're just like, okay. And what he wanted to do was Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie,
which is awesome.
Yeah,
I think he said that like after this, it could be the end, but they always come back.
I mean, yes and no. They filmed season 3 of Nirvana, the band, the show, but the problem was that the network itself was taken down. Like, it wasn't like they got canceled. Like, the network itself was removed, so they don't know exactly how to release it. So there will be more Nirvana, the band, the show content in the future.
God bless.
If they're actually going to film anything new after this movie, I don't know about that. But
yeah, what I think it was what Matt Johnson said is like, you know, like when ideas come, we will do them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like things won't be left up in the air. If we have an idea for Nirvana the band, the show, it will be made.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. Like just keep going at it. Like as long as it's good, keep it up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like on cinema where it's so niche,
right?
And at the time, it's so celebrated within that niche as like such a great product, and I mean, it absolutely is. And like,
oh yeah,
I mean,
it feels so genuine.
Yeah.
Like it could be like a lot of stuff like stuff that started like as web series sort of grows to be sort of jaded, but Nirvana the band, the show, never feels like that. It always feels like it's always like filled with like childhood whimsy.
Yeah,
like I feel comfortable. Like it's still like dark things can happen in the show, but it never feels serious. It always feels like a cartoon.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that like they do, like the whole movie itself is like a send up of like Back to the Future and stuff like that,
to the point where they use the Back to the Future music and stuff.
Exactly, and it's like, for the longest time, I was getting so sick and tired of like referential humor, just because I feel like it's done so lazily nowadays.
Yeah.
But like, this is one case where it's like, even though I have enjoyed referential humor in the past, obviously, like I like parodies and stuff, and this is what I'm talking about, where it's just like, you do it right, it can be something very special, and this totally is.
It just connects with the sort, like, I knew I was in for something in this movie when the movie starts, and over the opening credits, they're playing the Chrono Trigger theme song. And then I learned that it's a time travel movie, and it meant something. And they didn't just put it there. I was like, holy shit! That is the best use of licensed music in any movie this year.
Yeah.
And it's the Chrono Trigger theme song. Fucking... I was like, it's going to be very hard for this movie to let me down after that. This movie is like made for me.
And it didn't at all let you down. Like, I don't, and for me too, it was just, I was so into the experience here. And it's like, and I know it's like this thing where it's like, okay, it's a movie based off of a TV show. It's like, how good could it really be? No, like this, if I had never seen the TV show, I would love this. And like, even on its own merits, completely removed from anything or with everything, like it is fantastic fucking art. Like, yeah.
No, absolutely. And I'm so glad I got to see it in a theater.
Yeah.
Me too. My God. Yeah. Like, I'm still going to watch it again when it hits Crave. But God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I saw it in the theater, because seeing it around like-minded people, and it's so great. Yeah. Definitely the best Canadian movie I've seen this year.
Yeah, it might be the only Canadian movie I've seen.
Yeah, there you go.
Other than, I've seen Canadian movies from the previous
best one that's come out this year.
Yeah. But number 2, and this was one I really wanted to see in theaters. I had to go sail some seas to find this, because I knew that I was going to want to talk about it. I knew it was going to make my best of the year list, and that is No Other Choice, the new Chan-wook Park movie.
See, this is something that I don't know why. I just have not really looked into his movies yet. But everything I hear is that it is like one of the best movies like ever.
Yeah,
he's one of the best filmmakers of the modern generation.
Yeah, well, I know you've seen Old Boy.
Yes, I've seen Old Boy. Yeah,
haven't you seen The Handmaiden too?
Oh yes, I guess I forgot that was him. Yeah. Oh my God, he has such a range. Holy shit!
So I kept hearing like such great things about this, and I've seen most of his other movies. I think there's maybe one or two that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
From like his very old filmography, or like he did some anthology movies that I haven't seen yet. But I've seen most of his features and stuff like that, and I always put like Old Boy and The Handmaiden at like the top of what he's done,
right.
And Joint Security Area 2 maybe, and like everything else, like I really like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance and Decision to Leave and I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. I really like the title of that one. But yeah, like
these all sound fucking great. I've never heard of most of these ones that you just said, but I want to watch all those.
And this movie, No Other Choice, it's right up there with The Handmaiden and Old Boy, and like it is that fucking level. Now,
is
good.
Is this the one with the guy from Squid Game?
Yep, he's in it.
He fucking redeemed himself.
Well, I didn't blame him for the fucking writing of Squid Game, but like, no, but
eventually
he's been in a bunch of Korean stuff, so it's like I didn't know him just as the guy from Squid Game. But
sometimes a show is so bad you just blame everybody that's involved.
Blame Canada. But yeah, like this was one where it was like, it's just such a. It was also one I was excited to see because he's the type of director where there's a lot of comedy in his movies, but like they're not really labeled as comedies. Mm-hmm. This one was labeled as a comedy, and it is hilarious. Like really? That's what I'm talking about. Like this is there was like this one.
All the marketing seemed a lot darker, but I'm so surprised to hear that.
It is very dark too.
Like a dark, like a black comedy.
Yeah, the marketing is not inaccurate in that way.
That's awesome. Like, I love that.
Yeah, there's this one scene where there's playing really loud music and there's two people in a room yelling at each other, and it's even using like subtitles to show what they're saying. But I don't want to ruin the scene in its entirety.
Yeah.
But,
don't
like,
tell me too much.
That was fucking. I was just like busting a gut at that part, like what was going on, and especially how it fucking concluded and where it went. This is the type of movie where it's like it has. It's been being compared a lot to Parasite. I think. And going back to what I was saying about Squid Game with like the commentary on like class struggles and stuff that, it's going in a lot to that. And it's about a guy who works at a paper company, and then like he loses his job, and then like he's decides to like go after the people who he's in competition with to get a new job. So it's like it's kind of like a Falling Down, or like some of these like movies where like these people go on like these crazy. They kind of go postal, and just for the greater good, or exactly. And it is so well done. It is so like I was, and this was true of Decision to Leave too, and I would say it was true of The Handmaid. Like every single Chan-wook Park movie I've seen, like the craft of his filmmaking just gets better, and like it gets like there was parts in this movie where like I couldn't believe. Like, I was literally could not believe how fucking amazing they looked. Like, in terms of, like, the shot composition and everything, and the colors they use, and, like, the way that everything's framed. Like, I cannot... Like, I'm even now, I'm in disbelief just thinking about, like, the scenes in this movie, and there's a lot of them that stick out in my mind. Like, exactly how the framing was in each shot.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. Like, I was, like...
Sometimes when you see a movie that good, it's like hard to articulate how good it is.
Yeah, it's like and again, this was true in Decision to Leave, but the way that they do like texting and conversations, it's so creative. Again, I'm not going to get into that, but like the way that they do it is just it's fucking immaculate. Like he is literally one of the best. I don't know who his DOP is, but like they work together to make some of the best cinematic like just shots you'll ever see. It's like it's phenomenal. Like I was aghast honestly watching it. Like and again, don't want to spoil too much about it, but number one I think is good. They're going to be the same probably, but like those were two. Like, this could easily be number one as well. Like, they were both, like...
Honestly,
two of the best fucking movies I've ever seen in my life.
Now that you've told me number two is this, I pretty much know exactly what your number one is. Yeah. And it sucks that we're so predictable and basic for basic-ass cinephiles with our number one favorite movie of the year.
Yeah. So, do you want to announce it? Since
Last four. 3, 2, 1... War of the Worlds.
I actually heard that in terms of entertainment value, that might be the number one. I haven't actually seen that.
Yeah. Here's the surprise. We're talking worst movies. War of the Worlds is my favorite terrible movie this year. I do not understand how this got made.
Yeah.
It feels like a prank. Like, it feels like an April Fool's joke. Like, we dropped a movie, but it's just a guy sitting in a chair on his MacBook the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I heard it was a quarantine movie.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing.
And it has nothing to do with War of the Worlds?
Yeah, this is what makes me so mad. Ice Cube, who I can't even look at you anymore without seeing this movie, Ice Cube, is sitting in his office the entire movie, just looking at web pages of aliens attacking different parts of the world and being like, oh no. And he's like, types something. He's like, damn it. And he calls his daughter. He's like, be careful. Get in the Tesla. I'll unlock it for you. And like, he's always in this one place. And I'm thinking like, his office looks like a boardroom. It looks like a conference room. And I was like, I guess this is the only room they could find in a big office building. But then I'll watch a couple scenes over again. There's a part where his arm like comes up. Yeah. He is green screened into the fucking room. They couldn't even get a real office for him to sit in. He's in front of a green screen the whole movie while all the other actors are clearly running around doing stuff, but he is the main character and he's just sitting, typing and yelling at his computer. And honestly, I could quote lines from this movie, but it's better if you just watch it yourself without being fucking spoiled. It is such a good fucking time. Yeah. That is the worst movie of the year. War of the Worlds, 100%.
Well, actually, before we go to the number one best, actually, but I do have a worst movie of the year myself. This was something that I didn't even know it was coming out, but Netflix put out an adaptation of the Roald Dahl novel, The Twits, that came out last month. And I watched it, and it is the most atrocious thing that I've never seen something miss the point of the fucking book. Like, people like complain, like have these arguments with like, oh, which Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is better? It's like, oh, Gene Wilder sucks, oh, Johnny Depp sucks. It's like, just shut them up, make them watch The Twits, and whatever fucking version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory they don't like, they will immediately, Timothée Chalamet too, if they don't like that one, just... Any fucking adaptation of any Roald Dahl thing I've ever seen in my life, this was a fucking, it was so atrocious. It was directed by the person who did the second Wreck-It Ralph movie, which I heard was horrible.
Oh, it's the worst Wreck-It Ralph movie.
So I didn't see that, but I heard it was horrible. But this was like such an ugly, and not ugly in the, the way that like the Twits are trying to be ugly. This was just poorly color schemed. It was this whole
badly shot.
Yeah, it was this whole plot about like an orphanage that had nothing to do with the original book.
Oh my god, I hate that shit so much. Why? It's a book. Just fucking put all the stuff in the book in it. Why are you putting other shit?
Yeah, and then it's like they have like this ending where it's like they, try to do this whole redemption thing. It's like, it was cruel in the places it was supposed to be heartwarming, and it was heartwarming in the places that it was supposed to be cruel.
Like a paranoid schizophrenic read the book and then tried to write a screenplay about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really fucking atrocious. Like, it's just, even thinking about it right now, it's just getting me mad. It's just like,
okay. Well, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's like, I not that I would encourage anyone to watch this, but I'm pretty sure that this is probably on the same level of quality as War of the Worlds, even though War of the Worlds is probably a lot more entertaining to watch.
Yeah, War of the Worlds is a fucking gas.
Yeah.
I can't say the same thing about what about your worst movie of the year. This is bad at a level that is just so perfect.
Yeah.
This sounds just like an atrocity. It sounds like no fun whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's like... I mean, especially if you read the book, I don't think anybody would like this, though, whether they're familiar with the story or not. So, fuck the Twits. It was just...
Fuck the Twits. All right. Well, back to good things. Let's say it together. The best movie of the year is...
One battle after another.
One battle after another. Yes, we
also
think One Battle After Another is the best movie that came out this year. Yeah. Just like everybody else and their mother, this is like
obviously, with any movie nowadays that gets like popular, there's going to be a backlash to it.
Exactly.
So I mean, obviously not everybody, but
exactly. But like, again, this is what I was talking like whenever we got out of the theater. Is just like there's so many moving parts in this movie that all mesh so well together. It is incredible. Fucking Leo is at his absolute best in this movie.
Yeah, my favorite performance he's ever done.
Yeah, I would say, my favorite performance he's ever done, better than anything he did when he was younger. The image of the aging stoner failure, also his left-leaning extremist ideas. It's like, I was watching it the whole time and I was like, oh my god, he's literally me. And I was rooting for him so hard. And it's like an epic. Like, it starts off like so early into his life, and then goes farther on into his life, and like, I was baffled. I was completely baffled. And
not just him too, but Sean Penn was just at his absolute top of the game in terms of it. He might have been like my favorite part of the movie. I don't know if it's as dynamic as Leo's performance, but like I was just laughing so hard about this revolutionary who was
was reverse raped.
God. Like, it was this thing where it's like, and this is always, I think, a sign of a good actor or like a good performance, is like, if you played this just a little bit differently, it would all fall apart and be way too ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's a balancing act.
Yeah, exactly.
Also had one of my favorite climaxes in the whole, in any movie I've seen, and that's including Weapons, which I think is probably my favorite ending of any movie. But the final chase between Leo and his daughter and Sean Penn, and they're going up and over the hills. Never fucking thought of that. It seems like such a no-brainer, but a hilly area with the car going up and down, you're like,
the way that they shot that too, it was just like, and you could tell that like probably PTA, Parent Teacher Association, was on a road trip, and he just like did this, and he's like, this would be great for a movie. And
it's one of those things that just sort of clicks. And it's like, man, this is like obvious. I can't believe no one's ever done this before. And I'm sure someone's done it, but never like this.
Yeah, never as good as like PTA does it. And Paul Thomas Anderson, he's also much like Chan-wook Park, he's also one of my favorite filmmakers, and somebody who I think with every passing movie, well, I wouldn't say that his past few movies were my favorite that he's done. The craftsmanship of them was just always getting better. And when I watched One Battle After the Another, which was both what I wanted from him from a story standpoint, and also with this like more modern filmmaking technique stuff, like, it might be my favorite. Like, The Master is extremely well directed. This might be better than The Master in terms of the directing. Like, I
rewatched There Will Be Blood immediately after this because I needed more, and I think that this is probably a little bit better than There Will Be Blood too.
I would say too that it's hard for me to choose between this and Boogie Nights, but I mean, they're both like,
that's on my list now. Honestly, this movie has like converted me.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna need to watch all of his fucking filmography, because this is clearly like, you watch this, and even if you don't know anything else about PTA, you're like, this is like a master at his craft. This is like
master.
The master.
The master
at
who
his
made
craft.
The Master.
Yeah, like Da Vinci level shit, where you can just see it and go, okay, this is a simple idea. Like, there's nothing crazy going on. It's a crazy story, but like, the concept isn't terribly crazy, but like, the way everything interlocks, it's like, it literally feels like a 5,000 piece jigsaw puzzle that makes this perfect picture. There's honestly, it is definitely the best movie this year, and I can't believe I haven't rewatched it. It just hit streaming.
Nice.
And I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it again. Probably the only reason I haven't is because of its length. If you don't like long movies, this is a fucking long movie.
But it doesn't feel like 3 hours.
It doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like this. Like, I still didn't hate the Smashing Machine. I feel like the Smashing Machine felt longer than this, and that's like a whole hour shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
It just flies by because everyone's performances have so much energy. Everything is always going forward.
Yeah.
It never feels like it's wasting any time in the narrative.
And that's what I've kind of noticed about a lot of my favorite movies this year, with like Weapons or Marty Supreme. There's a lot of moving pieces on the board, and they're like trying to juggle a lot of different things, but they're doing it so well and with such craftsmanship, and it all amounts to something just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, that's very true of this movie. I really, not that I care about the Oscars or anything, but I mean, if there was a time to give it to Paul Thomas Anderson, I think that this is the time.
This is the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm sure when the Oscars come out, we'll be back and we'll be pissed off.
Maybe. I mean, I sometimes I think that there's a likelihood that it could win. I predicted that Parasite would win, and I predicted like King's Speech would win. I mean, like there was definitely times where
King's Speech I definitely saw winning.
Yeah, I mean, there was like Everything Everywhere All at Once is out there as a movie that was. I was like, I had a feeling that like it was going to be recognized, and I do think that that's going to be the case with One Battle After Another. If I were to predict a winner, I think it might be it. It just feels like the direction they would go. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I mean, we could definitely be wrong, but I'd say that's definitely my pick for Best Picture. Yeah, but then again, Better Call Saul won 0 Emmys out of 53 nominations, so you never fucking know.
That was one case where it's just like, I understand why they didn't, because it's a spin-off show. As ridiculous as a fucking argument as that is, there's this kind of like a stigma against it by like awards and stuff like that. So with One Battle After Another, no, just like knowing the way that the Academy votes and everything, I kind of like think that'll be. But regardless of who wins and who loses, like this is still my favorite movie of the year. And again, No Other Choice became very close. Like it was. I
was absolutely sure you were going to choose No Other Choice. Just from the way you were talking about it in like on like Facebook and the Discord and stuff.
I didn't talk about it on Facebook.
Well, I couldn't remember if you talked about it on Facebook or Discord.
I did like one message about it on Discord. I actually made a Facebook post after I saw One Battle After Another. So like,
okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So but like it was a hair like.
Yeah, so close.
Very, very close.
This must have been so hard for you.
Yeah, and that's not a testament to like, like this was honestly like a lot of people say it was a shitty year for movies. Yeah, there was a lot of mid stuff that came out.
Oh yeah.
But any of these 5 movies are things that I would be like, these are all worthy of like, being put up there with some of the best stuff I've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like for every 5 like Smashing Machines or Running Mans that came out, there was one battle after another. Yeah. There was one Weapons. There was one Nirvana, the band, the show. So yeah, no, it maybe not the most great, maybe not a lot of great movies this year, but the ones that we saw and that we loved the most were so incredibly good. And honestly, having you here on the island has upped my movie watching so much. Nice. I've seen so many movies at the theater. I barely ever saw new movies, and now I'm just happy to fucking be there. And it's
you didn't even know there was a new cinema downtown
in
Charlottetown.
And now it's my favorite place. If you're a local listener, go check out Tivoli Cinema in Charlottetown. That is where we saw some of the best movies we saw this year.
Yeah.
And it is. It was a great year for movies. I'm gonna say it. I think there was a lot of bullshit for every War of the Worlds.
But I mean, at least War of the Worlds is something that you're going to remember, and it's going to be an entertaining thing to watch. So like, I feel like that's an accomplishment too, if it gives you that much entertainment.
No, that's the thing is like, I might rewatch that movie.
Yeah,
like I'll probably rewatch One Battle After Another for completely different reasons. Yeah. But like, I still find value in the terrible and the awful. I could probably even find value in the twits. Not much, but probably.
But like War of the Worlds is like The Room, or it's like Saving Christmas level of like. Yeah, it's like as much as it's terrible, it was also
every time you bring up Saving Christmas, I go like. Like Homer Simpson thinking of like a donut. It's such a good bad movie. I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah.
But now the time has passed, so I have to wait another year. Because it's weird to watch a Christmas movie in the middle of January.
Well, I mean, as crazy as Kirk Cameron does, I don't know. It kind of seems like something that makes sense for the movie in a weird way. That it's just like you watch it just in January.
That would be really funny, actually. Just fuck them over.
So, I do want to like talk about it. Well, not talk in detail, but just like
bring up
list a few other movies I've seen this year that I thought were really good. Do you have any? Like,
For sure. Let me bring up my list.
Okay, but I'll just do some of mine real quick.
Go for it.
So if I had legs, I'd kick you. That was a very big surprise for me, like because I didn't know anything about it. But like that was one thing where if you know, we talk about the Oscars and everything, and you know, we talk about like, you know, best performances and stuff like that. Like Rose Byrne, I think would be a very good contender for best actress this year for this performance. I don't know if she'll get it because I just think the movie's a bit too weird for the Oscars. But this was definitely a case where she shined a lot, and you know, the rest of the movie was really good too, and Sinners was another one of the horror movies that came out this year.
Sinners was great. I loved Sinners.
I assume Sinners would be like in your top 5 if you were to do one.
Yeah. No, I'd say definitely.
Not quite in there for me, but I did really enjoy it. You know, there's you know, it felt like a send up of From Dusk Till Dawn, but like with like more of a blaxploitation vibe to it, which I thought was fun.
It really there was, and the music in that movie was incredible too. Definitely recommend that movie. Definitely in my top 5.
Yeah, and that was one of those cases where there was the dual performance thing, and that was like one of the like. Even though you could kind of tell they were the same actor, it was like I felt like I was watching 2 different characters. Like,
Michael B. Jordan really embodied 2 different characters, and the fact that they were both played by the same person, like, sort of was reflected in the story and stuff. So I really, really enjoyed that.
So then Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair.
Oh yeah,
that's
now
something that's worth
so Quentin Tarantino for the longest time has been my favorite movie director, mostly due to the fact that I haven't re-evaluated my favorite movie director since high school. Go figure, it's Quentin Tarantino. But
you can watch more Chan-wook Park and Paul Thomas Anderson.
There you go. That might happen. But, God, the Kill Bill has such a great style to it, and watching it all as one continuous movie really helps.
Yeah.
I back in the day, Kill Bill Volume 2 and Death Proof were the only 2, like, movies, I guess, because technically Kill Bill is one movie, but, you know, like...
Well, no, it very much technically is.
Yeah, very much. Back in the day, it was hard to sort of separate that. I sort of figured, like, the first Kill Bill is good, the second Kill Bill is not as good, but it finishes the story. Now, as one cohesive whole, bringing all those same emotions from Volume 1 into Volume 2, rather than sort of treating it as its own thing, it becomes something completely different.
Yeah.
And I love that. It was great.
Yeah, I would say that if you haven't seen Kill Bill, this would be the ideal way to watch it.
Yes,
and this
for
is what
sure.
kind of like Tarantino wanted in the first place. But like, you know, it's 4 hours. But like, no, I would say that this is, you know, it probably is more enticing to watch it in 2 volumes for the uninitiated. But I would honestly,
if you got the time, honestly, it's the best way. For sure.
Because I mean, there's like a character that gets revealed near the end where it's like they show it at the end of Volume 1 and it kind of ruins the reveal when it happens. But like when it happens, when I was watching The Whole Bloody Affair and it happened, like I was like, it just felt like an emotional gut punch when you finally see that character. And it's like, you know, I actually found out the reason they did the whole black and white thing in the original movie is because like they thought it was a way of getting around the censors, because they thought that scene was too violent.
But they do that, and now fucking YouTube does that.
Yeah,
that's so fucked.
So like, yeah. So that was one thing that I thought it was better in color. You know, I thought that the stuff that they changed was for the best. I mean, the anime scene, you could argue, wasn't really that necessary, the stuff that they put on, but at the same time... But the
fact that it was, like, made and just never included, I'm so glad that they actually included it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was, like, a nice little perk. So, I mean, like, there's stuff like that. Like, I'm very happy with the Whole Bloody Affair now that it's
I should also mention that if I go on my Letterboxd, the last movie I officially watched in 2025 is The Lost Chapter, Yuki's Revenge, technically, which is the Fortnite short film.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like I gave that a 5. I think I was a bit lenient on it.
Yeah, it was, you know what, I'll say it was cute. It was cute. That's it. Yeah. Let's see. We saw a couple of other movies.
Yeah,
These are like my 3 stars.
Okay, so I got a few others I could list here. Superman.
Superman was
I
great.
liked quite a bit. Yeah.
I liked Superman. I know we have a lot of people in our community that are not into the cape shit, and I get that. But this,
which, by the way, I'm not really either. But I mean, I can acknowledge when a movie's a good movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's the thing. Cape shit sort of is an all-encompassing term for like this like lowest common denominator comic book movie.
It's like the superhero boom that happened a few years ago, and then people are just tired of it. It's the same thing. It's like this happens a lot where like the westerns go out of style, and then like the film noir goes out of style, and
like disco.
Yeah, it's just like these trends in filmmaking. I mean, it's not a new thing with like these superhero movies and stuff like that, and it's kind of like people are experiencing the fatigue from it, and I think that's probably for the best. I'm glad that there is less superhero stuff coming out, but I still think that it's good to acknowledge when a good one comes out, and Superman is a good one.
Yeah, no, for sure. There was also Bring Her Back was another really great horror movie. I thought that Talk to Me was pretty good, but this one was like made that like this one blew Talk to Me out of the water. I feel.
I don't know if I would say that. I liked it more than Talk to Me. I don't know if I liked it a lot more than Talk to Me. If that makes sense.
I'm all about over exaggerating shit. So maybe my blows it out of the water means different than yours. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it like such a great. I had a couple of moments like this year where I was curled up in my seat in the theater with my eyes covered. Yeah. There was some moments like that, really amazing. Let's see, Eddington was another good one.
Eddington is another good one.
I feel like Eddington. I feel bad for Eddington because it came out and then a couple months later,
One Battle After Another.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people said, is that like with One Battle After Another coming out, it kind of made Eddington look like shit, which I don't think is true.
It's
just like, I mean, I do agree that One Battle After Another did a lot of the things that Eddington was doing better, but at the same time, I still think that Eddington is like...
Oh yeah, it's still really good. That's another one that I rewatched. I still love that movie.
I think especially, like, even if I were to compare Eddington to the new season of South Park with, like, the satire... I thought it was done better than the new season of South Park, even.
That's high praise for you.
So, there was that.
Begonia. That's another one I really liked. As someone who's about to go into... I guess not about to. I'm in season 2. About to go into the 5th season of Breaking Bad. Again, Jesse Clemens, I think, is an amazing actor. Yeah. Like I think that Emma Stone was really good in that movie, but I think Jesse Clemens totally took over that movie with his performance.
Yeah. He was really good in it. I do think that he's been a bit typecasted as being like
a weirdo.
Being a weirdo that's like kind of childish, but at the same time very evil. He's done that in a lot of movies.
I think I'm thinking of Ending Things, and
I don't know if he was evil in that, but at the same time, like you could argue
that he's the villain because he's trying to like prolong. It's a nebulous concept.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, again, there was something where it's like, and I do think that he's a great actor. I just kind of hope I see more variety of roles from him in the future. Yeah, for sure.
It sort of feels like Michael Cera, which, by the way, that's a great... the Phoenician Scheme was... it was pretty good. In retrospect, it's definitely not one of the best.
It hasn't like stuck with me the way that like some other Wes Anderson movies do.
But the performance that Michael Cera gave did stick with me.
Yeah,
and seeing him being able to break out of that like physically in the movie, getting it to break out of that character of like the meek little teenage guy when he's like in his late 20s now, 30s. And like, and the same thing in The Running Man. He was in The Running Man too.
That's true too.
Fighting against his typecasting. So I'm hoping that Jesse Clemens sort of gets that treatment in the next couple of years, where people see like this guy is so talented, we are wasting his potential.
Yeah, and on Begonia for a second, I mean, it's a little bit of like a smaller scale thing than I would say some of Yorgos Lanthimos' other movies. But I kind of do like that. I have seen the original Korean movie that it's a remake
Yeah,
of.
yeah, you told me about that.
And it's some stuff I think that the Korean movie did better. Some stuff I think the remake did better. I think that it's definitely a fun movie. It's not one of my favorite Yorgos movies, but it is something where it's like, it certainly wasn't a disappointment or anything. It was it was kind of what I was expecting. Same with the Phoenician Scheme. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
At this point, it's like, I've seen what I consider to be peak Wes Anderson, and I hope that he makes another movie kind of like in that range. But I definitely thought it was better than Asteroid City, which was his previous movie.
Yeah.
And I might have liked it more than The French Dispatch too. Now that I think about it.
I like The French Dispatch, but I think I like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a close call between those two, but
honestly, I think Wes Anderson's at his best when he's telling shorter stories like that.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he put out on Netflix. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Oh, the Henry Sugar.
Henry Sugar.
Yeah, that's an example of a great Netflix adaptation of a Roald Dahl fucking novel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with well, I mean, this wasn't Netflix, but Fantastic Mr. Fox is another example.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, how did they fucking drop the ball with the twits so badly with Netflix?
Whatever. A couple more that I mentioned. I promise I'm not going to talk about any more anime after this. Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, Chainsaw Man, Rize Arc. I got to see both of these in theaters, which I don't get to do very often in bumfuck nowhere Prince Edward Island. We usually don't get movies like anime movies like that, especially subtitled. Usually it would just be dubbed. I got to see them both subtitled. One of them I got to see right in our hometown without having to drive to Charlottetown, which I don't know. Maybe that's why I like those movies so much. But yeah, I loved both of those movies. Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, I would say, probably work better as continuations of their respective series. So check those out first. But I really, really enjoyed Chainsaw Man. Very, very impressed with how that was animated and put together. It really sold me on this arc that I had already read in the manga, and it really it hit exactly like I pictured it. So that's awesome. Yeah, and let's see. I think that's basically. Oh. Yeah. There's probably one more thing. It's a much smaller thing, and it's not like a feature-length film or anything. It's a short film. I've discovered through various YouTube channels. I found a new animator on YouTube that I really like, named Product. Product does these weird, uncanny horror shorts. Using a really interesting style of animation. Basically, what he does is he takes you know about IMVU? You probably saw like ads for it. Like it's like one of those social games where you can dress up and make avatars. Basically, just makes avatars in this, and then uses like facial mocap to like make them talk, and then edits them into these horrific uncanny like nightmare scapes. And they're funny, they are horrifying. They just recently put out they have a trilogy, the Mother trilogy, the last episode called Father, and I really highly recommend that. If you haven't checked that out, it's some of the best like YouTube horror that I've seen, I guess. And it's it's not just, and that's the thing, is it's not just horror, like there's a deep character study within, so definitely check that out as well.
Okay, so I have a couple more I could talk about. One was Rental Family. The new
Brendan Fraser movie.
New one with Brendan Fraser, where he's in Japan and he pretends to be this little girl's father.
Right.
That was a really cool one. I will say, as somebody who lived in Japan, there's no way that he would meet that many Japanese people who spoke perfect English. But at the same time, I do acknowledge that it's just a movie and everything. But it was really. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was about what I was expecting. It was a nice little heartwarming piece. And then my other favorite Korean director, Bong Joon-ho, made a movie this year called Mickey 17.
Oh, yes, that's on my list too.
Yeah, that was a sci-fi movie. I don't like his American movies as much as I like his Korean movies. Like, for generally speaking, I love Snowpiercer, but I find like his best movies are like Memories of Murder and Parasite and Mother and like all those other stuff. But you know, this was a very decent one with Robert Pattinson, who I really like, and he did a really good job at like kind of making like a Star Wars-ish style movie. I don't know if it made its money back. But I am glad that I saw it in theaters. I know that it's based off of a book. It's not like earth shattering. It's not like Dune like level.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
serviceable.
It is definitely a watchable, fun movie that I would recommend. It's got some good kind of satire about the class struggles too. Actually,
a lot of that this year. It's almost
like we're in a recession.
It's almost like we're in a modern recession.
Yeah. With that recession, how long have we been fucking going?
Yeah, I think we're at over 2 hours now. Right. I think we have drained our balls dry of 2025 content. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. We have finished. We're done talking about 2025 content. Cut that. Okay, so that is our 2025 recap of all the stuff we've checked out this year. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this extra long episode. Holy shit. When we get talking, we just keep going.
Exactly.
When we don't limit it to one movie.
It's like when we don't have just one topic, we can just do this forever.
That's what we do. We do it when the microphones are off too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, back to the formula. So, since I ruined everything and fucked up the formula, I'm going to go back to it, and we're going to fix some things. So I am going to give our recommendation for February. So February, it's Valentine's Day, the month of love, the month of life. Life is a beautiful thing, and you know what's lovely about life?
What's lovely about life?
I don't know. The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick is what we're watching.
Okay. All right.
I really thought I was going somewhere with that. So another movie, this is sort of related. Another movie we watched this year, I think the same day we watched Bring Her Back, we saw a screening of Days of Heaven with by Terrence Malick. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't fucking love it.
But it wasn't really my thing. I liked it more than you did, but I haven't really seen.
I think it's actually gotten worse in my brain since we watched. So this is my attempt to try to rectify that. Yeah. I'm gonna try to check out Days of Heaven again. I'm gonna try to watch this movie because I hear that this is the most strange of them, the most out there. This is the most well-known strange movie. And I really wanted to watch it just to get an idea of maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I just need to go deeper, you know?
Well, I hear that this is the most like Terrence Malick-y Terrence Malick movie.
Well, that's the thing is maybe I just need to jump into the full deep end, like head first.
Yeah.
And just fucking absorb myself into the Terrence Malick-y weird dialogue, beautiful I
do remember some really great shots.
Of
Heaven, like with like the, the seed sprouting into the
seed and the whole burn at the end of the movie. There's a lot to like in that movie. Just wasn't my thing, but I'm willing to give the man another chance. So, next month, Tree of Life.
All right.
We're doing it.
I haven't seen it either, by the way. The only other
perfect.
Terrence Malick movie I've seen is Badlands, which is like his first movie, and that was one where it's like before he was really doing his like crazy out there stuff. So I actually quite like that movie, but it's more of a traditional narrative. So right. I don't know if it's like something where it's like maybe that's like an exception for me. So yeah, I am interested in checking out more Terrence Malick and maybe getting a taste for him
and we're really gonna jump right into it. So that's it for this extra long, extra large episode of the Unrealistic Elephant podcast. We thank you again for listening for all of 2025, and we know that 2026 is going to be another great year.
Well, 2025. A lot of people contest that it was a great year.
It was a great year for us.
Yeah, okay.
We watched a lot of good shit. Oh, what was the best episode of Unrealistic Elephant podcast.
Oh, you don't need to ask me that. You know the answer. It's the fucking Caligula
It's
one.
the Caligula episode. If you haven't checked out the Caligula episode, you can click on it over here. But wherever yonder. Hey, watch me not forget all of these edits I'm supposed to do, and I just put it out.
Yeah.
And
also, might as well, while we're on the topic, my best movie that I saw for the podcast this year was Brain Dead. That was my favorite of the choices. So,
I think I can vibe with that. Yeah. Probably Brain Dead.
Well, I know you loved Being There, and that would be close for me too. So.
Yeah, no, I actually right now on my Letterboxd favorite 2 movies we watched this year for the podcast are on there, and it's Ghost Dog and Being There. I love both of those movies. So no, that's I would say Being There is probably the best movie I watched for the podcast though. But who knows what's coming in 2026?
Maybe Tree of Life will be our favorite.
I maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm not going to say.
Let's end on a fucking note of just like, won't Tree of Life be wonderful? And then
I can't wait for Tree of Life.
Yeah.
So
let's have a pleasant old time with Tree of Life.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. And we will see you next month with Tree of Life.
All right. Do another Arthur transition, like.